As a therapist for these many years, I've seen a lot of times when people were rather stoic and didn't really express themselves. And I think that that's difficult for them and families. I have a story I'm going to tell today about a woman that was a client of mine. I'll call her Janelle, who was very stoic at times when she could have been more complimentary and involved. And it made life less successful than she might have been and less joyful. So we're going to talk about that today. Hi, my name is Bill Colati. I'm a psychotherapist and author of two self-help books with over 45 years of experience working with folks in a variety of mental health and volunteer programs. And I want to share with you things that I have learned, and they may help you. So today I have a story about a woman I will call Janelle. That's not her real name. She was a client for a while many years ago and talked to me one day about her brother, an adult brother, getting a really nice promotion at work and a new set of responsibilities. And he was happy about it, of course, and she congratulated him once. But I asked her more like, well, what did you say? How was the discussion? She said, well, I don't know. I told him I thought he did great. But there was no more discussion. And I said to her, well, this sounds like it was a really big deal for him and for his two kids. And I guess I'm just surprised you weren't more excited about it. She said, well, it's fine. He knew I was happy with it. I said, but did you tell him? She said, well, no, I didn't have to tell him. He knew it. And that's where I'm talking to her as I'm talking to you now, like saying, but he doesn't know what you're thinking. He can't read your mind. You have to tell him. If you want him to know what you're thinking, you have to tell him. He might guess that you're happy based on your facial expressions and your body posture. So he might be able to guess at your emotions that you are happy for him. But if you don't tell him in words, he doesn't know the details. He doesn't really know that you are happy for him. So when you don't express yourself and you say stay stoic, you miss some opportunities. Uh, you can't get closer to him as much as you could if you would share with him your excitement about it a little bit and ask him some questions. Let him talk about it and show his excitement. And that helps him also like connect to you too and get closer emotionally. So that's all important stuff. And that's what we talked about. Janelle also talked about that that's not the way she was raised. Actually, she was raised as a young child in Europe and would tell me, oh, things were different out here, out there. People didn't have to get all this expression like some Americans talk about. And so we see that she had kind of a pattern in her life of being in a family where it wasn't considered important or even good sometimes to express your joy and your happiness for others. And you would just assume they know, and that's good enough. We spent a lot of sessions talking about this at times of the importance of saying out loud what you're thinking inside. And she began to get it, but it was very difficult for her. It took a long time to overcome some of those life patterns that said, oh, don't be so loud, don't be so proud of yourself. They know, you don't have to talk about it. So examples that this might be for you, I could say, would be anything like a husband whose wife has a great garden. How often does he compliment her? Does he talk about what it's like for her to have that garden? Let her express herself. Or maybe you've got a child of your own that you see him interacting in a nice way with another child. Talk to them about it and let them know how proud you are and how glad you are for him that he's being nice to another human being and supporting that approach to life. So let's say you have a daughter of your own or someone who's parenting really well and you're very proud of them, and you see the interactions. Tell them that. Don't just assume they know it, because they don't know it if you don't say it. I said it earlier, but it's true. You have to get this point that they might read from your facial expressions and your body movements that you're pleased, but if you don't tell them in words, it doesn't mean as much. They're guessing. Make it clear. That'll help you get emotionally closer to them and give them a chance to express themselves and get closer to you emotionally. So what you can do with this, if you're stuck in stoicism at times, is number one, just remember this video or where you've learned this or been told this before, to be more expressive. If it's real hard for you, again, start with acknowledging that's something you want to change about yourself. And then when you get a chance, try to take advantage of that. Say a couple of things that you normally wouldn't, even one sentence, like, boy, that was really exciting, or, how did you feel about that? Allow them to talk, or say, hey, I'm really happy for you. That was really cool. Tell them that you're excited about their achievement so that you both can share in it and get closer to each other that way. And I would also say, by the way, if you are married to somebody who is really stoic, do your best to be verbal about what you want and let them know you would like them to be a little more expressive. You would like them to congratulate you or tell you when they think you're doing well. Tell that person that it makes you feel better when they talk that way. And just say that to them once in a while. You can even give them language. If they're saying, well, what do you want me to say? I told you it looked great. You can maybe say some stuff like, well, what I'd like you to say is a little bit more about it. Why does it look great? Or what do you like about it? Or that you want to connect with me, that you understand that it's important to me. And, let them know that that's what you want, and tell them again. We say this to our kids a lot of times, right? Like, use your words. Well, do that with that other person too, not in a way that seems condescending, but say it in words, because I don't know what you mean if you don't tell me. Thank you. Okay. So next week, I'm going to be doing this topic very similarly, but it's going to be instead on expressing yourself when you disagree with what your partner or someone is saying to you, even a coworker or others, how you can express yourself when you disagree with what they're saying. And that's really important. I hope you will tune in for that. And thank you for being here this time. Thank you.